Welcome. In this e-learning module, I shall demonstrate and make you understand how to create the balloons for all the parts of the press tool assembly. Before we create the balloons, let's create a couple of dimensions. Activate the section View AA. Right-click on the section View AA, and pick Activate View. Create a dimension between the top edge of the top plate and the die shoe's bottom edge. Create a dimension between the top plate's bottom edge and the top edge of the die shoe. Let's add a text to this dimension. Right-click on the dimension and pick Properties. In the Dimension Text tab, in the box available before the main value, type shut height is equal to. Click on Apply and then OK. Observe the text is too long for the space available for the dimension. Right-click on the dimension and pick Properties. On the Dimension Text tab, cut the text from the left box and paste it in the box above the main value. Click on Apply and then OK. Position the dimension at the center. Still, the dimension text is big for the space available. Let's slightly reduce the text height. Pick the dimension, change the text height from 3.5 to 3. Set the view to fit all in. Save the drawing. Now let's create the balloons. Before we create the balloons, we need to generate numbers for the press tool assembly. Swap the window to the press tool assembly. Pick the Generate Numbering command, and then press Tool Assembly. Generally, the balloon numbers are integers. Pick OK. Save the press tool assembly. Swap the window to the drawing. Now let's create the balloons. Activate the view on which you want to create the balloons. Click on Insert, Generation, and then Balloon Generation. Observe all the balloons are generated in the active view. The next step is to move the balloons to appropriate views. Let's move the balloon number 16 and 18 to their appropriate view. Balloon number 16 is a guide pillar, and balloon number 18 is a guide push. The appropriate view for these balloons is section AA. Pick the balloons. Right-click and cut the balloons. Right-click on the section View AA, and then paste. Drag and move the balloon to an appropriate position. If you cannot move the balloon, right-click on the balloon and then delete the positional link. Drag the arrowhead to a suitable position, which clearly identifies the part. Position the balloons so that the balloons are not crisscrossing with each other. Observe the leader of the balloon is on the view geometry. We should avoid this. Let's bend the leader. Right-click on the arrowhead, and pick Add a breakpoint. Drag the breakpoint so that the leader is not sitting on the view geometry. Observe the balloons are sitting on each other. You can drag them using the first mouse button. Let's start with item number 1, the die plate. Search for balloon number 1. Right-click and cut the balloon. The suitable view for this balloon is Section View AA. Right-click on the Section View AA and paste the balloon. Right-click on the balloon and delete the positional link. Drag and position the balloon in a suitable position. Drag and position the arrowhead of the balloon so that the part is identified clearly. Next, let's position the balloon for the die shoe. The part number of the die shoe is 8. Search for balloon number 8. Right-click and cut the balloon. The suitable view for this balloon is Section View AA. Right-click on the Section View AA and paste the balloon. Right-click on the balloon and delete the positional link. Drag and position the balloon in a suitable position. Drag and position the arrowhead of the balloon so that the part is identified clearly. Next, let's position the balloon for the die backplate. The part number of the die backplate is 7. Search for balloon number 7. Right-click and cut the balloon. The suitable view for this balloon is Section View AA. Right-click on the Section View AA and paste the balloon. Right-click on the balloon and delete the positional link. Drag and position the balloon in a suitable position. Drag and position the arrowhead of the balloon so that the part is identified clearly. Next, let's position the balloon for the strip guide plates. The part number of the strip guide plates are 2 and 3. There is no suitable view for clearly identifying the strip guide plates. Let's create a view. Click on Insert, View, Projections, and then Front View. Swap the window to the die assembly. Pick the top surface of the die shoe. Pick a point on the screen to position the view. Right-click on the view and select Properties. Change the scale from 1:1 to 1:5. Check the center line. Check the thread. Uncheck the fillets. Click on Apply and then OK. Double-click and update the view name to Die Assembly. Search for balloon numbers 2 and 3. Right-click and cut the balloon. The suitable view for this balloon is the die assembly view. Right-click on the die assembly view and paste the balloon. Right-click on the balloon and delete the positional link. Drag and position the balloon in a suitable position. Drag and position the arrowhead of the balloon so that the part is identified clearly. Repeat the procedure and create balloons for all parts of the press tool. create a dimension for the stripper stroke. We have moved all the balloons to the views where the parts can be clearly identified. Let's create a view of the punch assembly. Click on Insert, View, Projections, and then Front View. Swap the window to the punch assembly. Pick the bottom surface of the stripper plate. Use the View Orientation tool to properly orient the punch assembly view. Pick a point on the screen to position the view. Right-click on the view and select Properties. Check the center line. Check the thread. Change the scale from 1:1 to 1:5. Click on Apply and then OK. Double-click and update the view name to Punch Assembly. Hide the view axis. We have created many views outside the drawing sheet. Let's add a sheet to this drawing and move all the views to the new sheet. Click on Insert, Drawing, Sheet, and then New Sheet. Observe Sheet 2 has been added to the drawing. Pick on the Sheet 1 tab. Cut the views from Sheet 1 and paste them into Sheet 2. Position the views inside the sheet. Pick on the Sheet 1 tab. Cut the views from Sheet 1 and paste them into Sheet 2. Position the views inside the sheet. Now let's position the punch assembly view with reference to the die assembly view. Right-click on the view border, View Positioning, Align View using Elements. Pick a reference element on the punch assembly view and then pick a corresponding reference element on the die assembly view. Observe the punch assembly view that got aligned with the die assembly view. Repeat the same procedure and align the section views CC and DD with reference to the section view BB. Set the view display to fit all in. Pick on the Sheet 1 tab. Position the views within the available space. Set the view display to fit all in. Save the drawing. With this, we have successfully learned how to create the balloons for all the press tool assembly parts. That's all in this e-learning module. Thanks.